So the new Aladdin remake is coming out, like, now, and I have a theory, which I will explain as promptly and concisely as possible so I can get this out before the new film. This theory of mine will mainly revolve around the original animated Aladdin film and its sequel, The Return of Jafar, because I have a theory that the genie, in fact, that all genies, are unwittingly granting false wishes. Hello, I'm the Theorizer, and in the first Aladdin film, the genie reveals rules regarding death, rebirth, and love, before Aladdin tricks the genie into removing them from the Cave of Wonders. Genie feigns ignorance and shock upon learning of Aladdin's reverse psychology, but brushes it off in such a way that would imply he sort of let it slide from the get-go. Aladdin's first official wish, though, to become a prince, is extremely vague, so Genie, following his fickle rules yet again, sort of just grants like a million sub-wishes under this blanket wish. New clothing, super strength, a parade, elephant Abu, more and more and more and more, my god! And I'm not the first to notice this, but the film sort of just stops making him a prince midway through, and by the end of the movie, he debates whether or not he should wish for it again. How is this wish even undone, or rather, was it done to begin with? If he's a prince, surely he had some country to rule. You see, Aladdin was infinitely vague, and this wish just collapsed. And therein lies the genie stereotype. Wishes come with a price, or in the case of this film's genie, they don't really work at all. Completely superficial. Genie later steals a wish from Aladdin by saving his life. That's just cruel, he never even wished to be saved, and you wasted his opportunity by not just saving him as a friend, like you did, Cave of Wonders Escape. And you said you wouldn't do it again, but this is life we're talking about. Maybe, though, Genie was actually lifting Aladdin from the burden of owing more and more to the universe. Aladdin's final wish sets the genie free, but even that sort of fails. Genie is still blue, has all of his powers, but lacks a tethering lamp. So, is the genie from Aladdin's "be careful what you wish for" catch simply that the wishes fail? Simply that he's too lazy to come up with any other wish consequence than semi-fulfillment? If this is the case, it would make sense, and fill all of the plot holes, including the fact that generally, wishes do come with a cost in genie lore. But the best comparison we can establish as further proof is Jafar from the second movie, and this is why I'm making this video to begin with. At the end of the first movie, Jafar wished to become the Sultan, then to become the most powerful sorcerer in the world, and finally to become the most powerful genie possible. You'll notice that his third wish sort of undid his first two, which were only active for a couple hours anyways. It was the genie karma in full effect, but once Jafar was unleashed in the second movie, not a single one of his powers had lasting effects. Nothing he did was maintained, and then he died anyways. He couldn't kill anybody. He tried so hard to do so, and even when he manipulated others to kill people, they failed when circumstances and the universe itself denied it. The universe denied him any of his own hopes and wishes, one way or another. Genies can't wish for wishes. I assume that's why Genie couldn't wish to be freed, still has his powers, perhaps? Then, in the end, he was the result of his own extremely horrific death. Probably my favorite Disney villain death. It's very creatively violent. So my point is that genie karma does exist in these films. Usually genies are very risky in other films and TV. They will either take advantage of your poor wording, or there will be a price you'll eventually suffer for wishing. And my theory is simply this. In Aladdin, we see genie karma, but in an extremely subliminal and unique way. Nothing goes right. Genie's wishes seem so over the top and amazing, but they're nothing but shams and facades. Fake country, fake parade, fake people, and the wish never existed to begin with. It's almost like he's trying to protect Aladdin from unforeseen repercussions, wasting wishes, falsely granting them, so on. Jafar's evil makes his price extremely steep though, starting with an entrapment and then a full-on karmic death. The universe killed Jafar. His attempts to kill got him killed, as it voids the rules of genies. The only time when Jafar granted some somebody's wish was at the beginning of The Return of Jafar. A petty criminal finds his lamp, rubs it, and wishes for a sunken ship's treasure. Jafar literally warps him to the sunken ship, and then forces the poor thief to use his second wish on teleporting back home. This is how genies are supposed to work. They're magical con men manipulating people's desires, so be careful what you wish for lessons are spread across civilizations. I've applied this alternate conning hypothesis of mine as a headcanon to the Aladdin films for ages now, but it really is more of a theory given the logic behind what occurs in the films. There's a rule against wishing for more wishes, but in the films, doing something like wishing for more genies would probably pin the wisher down a rabbit hole of universal debt. Hence, the rules. I'm also having a hard time deciphering which of Genie's terms are his or laws of magic as a whole, given that Jafar was physically incapable of murder, but Genie said he simply didn't like resurrecting people. Jafar spawned tons of money for his pathetic master during his time as a released genie, but everything vanished in the end, along with the destruction caused to the terrain. Then again, that happened when Jafar stopped being a sorcerer at the end of the first film too. So again, wishes are fickle. Genie magic as a whole, in fact, and wishing to become a genie spreads that facade deeper and deeper until you're someone like Jafar, who's basically powerless. My point in all of this, in this shorter theory, is that I need to see the new Aladdin. I need to know how they handle genie magic. I'm pumped for it.